Yo, peace. Welcome back. Well, welcome to. I don't know if I'm going to call this Mega Late Show or Secret House Sucks, but yeah, you guys recognize me, Mega Des, here again, Tokyo-based hip-hop art and culture conversations. Today, I'm rocking alone. You can hear these beats in the background with my man, Mike Larry Draw. We're going to have a real casual, dope conversation today. He just got, he been in Tokyo for a little bit now, but we've known each other for several years. Going back to his first visit out here. What year did you come out here?
That was 2016.
2016?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Word?
2017.
Okay.
Max, though, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because we met at a like an art gallery, a hostel,
Yeah,
right? With an
hostel,
art
yeah.
gallery at the bottom, and then you was performing there, and that's when we met. You was with a like an art collective or some type of group that came out here together, yeah?
Yeah, Fusion. It was called Fusion. They're
Okay.
coming back out here again.
Okay, bet. Yeah, I
But
remember.
I'm already out here, so.
I don't remember who it was. I remember there was one like American Asian lady face that was with yo. I connected with her on Instagram, but I don't remember who it was.
Aiko.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's word.
Shout out to Aiko.
You cool playing beats in the background, or I could bring us
Yeah,
in the beats or
we
whatever.
that's
Yeah, all right.
good.
Yeah, fucking yeah. So Mike Larry Draw, man, I know you from the Bronx. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? I know you're a multi-hyphenate artist, a creative person who makes beats. These are your beats in the background.
Yeah.
You're also a very talented vocalist, like an MC, clothing designer, shoe designer. You got your fingers in almost everything creative, especially kind of growing from hip hop culture. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks for the intro. I can't believe
I'll be
that's
talking.
me.
Yeah,
Can't
you
believe
know what I
that's
mean?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Larry Draw from the Bronx. Went to high school art and design. Specialized art high school. I'm Grammy nominated
Hey.
by way of Christian Scott. I got
Okay.
writer's credit on his album.
I didn't know that. It's fire.
Yeah, man. I dib and dab in jazz, hip hop. Used to be a b-boy at one point,
Hey.
graffiti artist,
Hey.
DJ. I did all the elements, beatboxer.
That's kind of how it was, though, right? Like
Yeah.
even if you were just like an MC, your hand style to write your name down had to be, you know what I mean? You had to freak it with a little, yeah. I've dabbled in all the elements myself as well. And you from the Bronx,
Yeah, from the Bronx.
born and
right?
raised.
Yeah, where it all started.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's powerful, man. That's dope. And you know, one thing that's really inspiring about you to me is like I met you and we only clicked and connected for one evening.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
literally one day.
But consistently, monthly, every other month, you would hit me up and be like, "Yo, word, what up? How you doing? Yeah, we're gonna, you know what I mean? Let's figure it out." And you would constantly send me new music. You would always hit me about the new projects, and you kept really in touch on a grassroots hip hop culture type of thing. And that's how, like, despite us only meeting once, I feel like I know you somewhat well just because we've been clicking and going back and forth for a long time.
That's a fact, man.
Yeah.
I considered first day I considered you my brother. You know what I'm saying?
No
I
doubt.
was just like,
Likewise.
I had to stay in touch. Because I wanted to come back too. You know what I mean? I was like, if I'm gonna come back, I want to hang out with my homies.
Yeah.
So like, one of the reasons why I stayed in touch, because like I said, like is we all from the same cloth. You know what I mean? We do the same things. We from two different coasts, but it didn't matter. We abide by the same rules and laws of hip hop. You know
ethics
what I mean?
of the same culture.
Yeah.
I feel the same, man. It was a mind to take mine real easy. The thing that like with you recently, like I want to say like at the end of last year maybe, you was like, "Yo, I'm selling all of my stuff and I'm coming out. I'm moving to Tokyo," and I was just like, I try to hit you with like the real honest logistics of it. Like, it's difficult. It's hard to get a guarantor on a place to stay. It's hard to find people to sponsor you or whatever. But you've been out here for like what, 6 months now, and just came out. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, man. When I got my eye on a prize, I'm doing it. Like, I've been warned numerous times about. I was like, I ain't giving a shit. I'm coming out, guns blazing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
But yeah, I appreciate that though. You know what I mean? Giving me the heads up and everything about what's going on.
I told you I do the best that I can to help you figure it out. But at the same time, my Japanese is also not even up to the level where I can read these contracts and figure it out or do any type of sponsorships on your guarantors or stuff like that. And I know that must have been difficult. What has been like the most difficult thing about you coming out here without a sponsor, without like a person straight up just giving you a visa?
I think the most difficult part is like the finance part, which would be the fact that I don't have the artist visa or the entertainment visa at this moment. getting gigs. Like there's actually a few modeling agencies that are really interested in me, and but they're not sponsoring. They're like, do you already have it? I'm like, nah. And they're like, well, I'm sorry, you got to get it first and then holla at us. So like those moments, like there are opportunities awaiting for me just to so I can flourish and, you know, pay the bills properly. However, there's logistics. So.
My man, Keen. I think you know Keen, right? He designs shirts and shit.
Yeah.
Keen is a real OG. He's a West Coast underground legend. He was one of the people that were documenting and tape trading videos of performances of underground hip hop going all the way back to the early 90s, Good Life Cafe. He gave Ava DuVernay a lot of the footage that she used in the This Is a Life documentary, which was kind of her first stepping stone into getting into Hollywood as a director, as an artist at that degree. And he's out here. And I've known him for probably about the same amount of time that I've known you, but he was coming out here every year, staying, going to Taiwan, coming back, and trying to find a way for him to be able to stick around without having to, like manipulate the system to a degree. And what he ended up doing was he applied for a school visa to go to classes for a certain amount of time, and then after that, once he had the language joints up, like he found somebody to sponsor him as an artist. So he didn't necessarily need the school visa, but that was just a thing that helped him stay in the country long enough to cultivate his relationships. But it seems like with you, you've already been, I've seen, I don't be on social media like that, but sometimes I'll scroll through and I'll be like, oh, yo, Mike Larry Draw performing with like Buddha Monk. And, like Buddha Monk is a legend out here. Yep. I mean, he's a legend. And if you're a part of like the 404 beat making, this kind of like post LA beat scene production style, like he's one of the originators of it. Like he was kind of bubbling around the same time that like New Jobbies was bubbling, but doing it in a different way, not so much MPC, more like 404 style. Right. And he's just a legend. He's worked with mad cats back in the States, Jansport J, the homie Jansport J, and people like that. And so I see you doing it, and every once in a while you're like, yo, come to the show. I'm like, damn, bro, you got your own shows, you got everything flourishing. Yeah. Your drive is really, really inspiring to me.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, yo.
I would say, like, for those who are actually watching too, like it's important not to wait sometimes, you know what I mean? You gotta go for it. I learned that early when I seen my peers or people I considered to be my heroes not give chances, and I'm just like, I can't wait for the chance, you know what I mean? I gotta go for the goal. So I just started doing my own thing, creating my own ecosystem, and went for it. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really dope, man. What is like some of the differences, like, I was born in New York, but I was born in Buffalo, New York, and I left there when I was like...
Shout out to the low.
Yeah, I left there, and then I was in Long Island for a little bit, but I was like 2. Yeah. And I don't know that. But, throughout my entire life, my father is from Newark, New Jersey. My brother-in-law is also from Newark, New Jersey. And, these male figures in my life... I've always had a real, and also because of hip hop, hip hop started out in the Bronx, and I always wanted to be a part of that big city life, riding the trains, writing graffiti, and doing that. Yeah. And I'm doing those type of things in the West Coast. But I know that there's a lot of similarities between the big city life of New York and the big city life of Tokyo. What are some of like the differences that you notice about being out here? I know the trains ain't 24 hours a day and they're cleaner and shit like that, but like, how do you feel about Tokyo coming here and really living inside of it right now, in the music culture and the people that you're rocking with?
I love it, actually. I definitely want to get more involved in the music culture here. I live in Fusa, which is super far.
It's a West Tokyo, but it's like one train to Shinjuku.
Yeah, right? It's one train. It take a long time.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So yeah, So I would say it's fun. It's a lot going on. There's always something going on, but I like if you're with the right people, obviously it makes it all the while difference. Yeah. Tokyo's like my Manhattan, so it's like it's nothing to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Besides, having different lefts and rights. You know what I mean? Like New York City is a grid, well, Manhattan's a grid, and Tokyo
is is
yeah. I love that.
It's just
and
I do, but also I'll be like, yo, where am I? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think you walking north, but really you've all slightly turned, and now you facing, east.
Yeah. I love it though, man. Honestly, I actually really love where I live at now. Just for the simple fact that I'm in nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I moved to Tokyo, I stayed in like Albany, New York.
Okay.
So I was always surrounded by mountains and things of that nature. So like, and then moved back to New York City. I had lived in Times Square for a little bit.
Okay.
Which was fucking dope. And then moved here.
Okay.
But yeah, like the differences is I guess the mannerism of the people. You see more people on their phones way more.
Oh yeah.
And not being as alert.
Yeah.
In New York, you have to be on your toes, 10 toes.
Yeah.
On your P's and Q's at all times.
Sure.
There's not one moment you should just be chilling and relaxing too much, because like even a year and a half ago there was a guy who
come
shot
down a little bit on that. I just don't want to.
A year and a half ago we had somebody who shot up the train.
Okay, yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like you have that situation.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously you don't have guns here, so you guys are good. But the whole fact is like you always got to be alert.
Right. A lot of my upbringing, it was like, that's in a lot of places in California, even like where you're at is like you have to. I can't be in a crowd and not have my wallet like in my front pocket.
Right,
I've a lot of things that kind of are instilled into me in the way to interact with people and how to act when you're in a place that you don't know. I still vibe with those. Like I cannot take a nap on a train. You're not about to catch me taking a nap on the train. Even though I've been here for over 10 years and I know that it's safe for that. Nah, I'm not going to close my eyes.
I definitely passed out a couple of times.
Morning train is different, but like
night train too, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like them seats kind of comfortable. I ain't gonna hold you. The only thing that makes me paranoid about those seats is like bed bugs. Like you never know who really got. Because in New York, I honestly think I don't want to get too conspiracy theorists, but I really think government threw them things down on there.
Oh yeah,
but
there's people there's people also that are actively trying to culture jam by spreading bed bugs too.
Yeah. So sometimes there's times I sit down and I'll be like, oh, you know what? Let me get up real quick. And just, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know who got what. You know what I mean? I don't think that happens here, but you never know. But
I feel that like. For one of the things I don't like is like, my hair is wavy, but it's not 9 ether. So that means that I can get lice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when people be sleeping on you and shit, and they just begin like, I have somebody like, be it man, woman, or child, like their head is on my shoulder. I'm like, come on. You know what I mean? I don't know what you do with your body. Like, and it's real normal just to be sitting around and somebody fall asleep on your shoulder and you're just supposed to kind of be like, yeah. But me, I'll be like, I don't try to like, shoulder check him or nothing, but nudge him a little bit. Like, come on, you sleeping on, you know what I mean? Like, this is
somebody else.
I understand we got a very reduced personal space bubble here, but I do still have that, that Superman bioelectric, you know what I mean, energy around me that I need you to kind of respect.
I will say this: personal space is important to me, and that's not happening here.
Oh yeah,
I noticed people like I had this one person playing his video games on his phone.
Yeah.
And I don't have that much space in front of me, and it's like a clear train damn near, and he's backing up on without even looking back to see if I'm behind him or not. So I waited a couple of seconds to see if he was gonna check it. He didn't, so I had to check him.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told my sister Rolinda, it's like you can't come out here. Like there's no way that you can come out here. She too confrontational. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's in a personal space like that, she'd be like, "Excuse," you know what I mean? Like she's too confrontational, and I'll be like, "Roro, you need to, like." We at the Albertsons, we at the grocery store. You need to calm down. And so if she's like that in America, if she come out here where personal space is like a distant memory, there ain't no way that I'm gonna be having her ride a Yamanote line at 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like it's like, and we can't. We ain't got the money like that for no taxis. Like you can't come out here.
Yeah, I definitely don't be on Yamanote at 5.
Yeah, that's I live for the people that don't know, Yamanote is like the inner circle of Tokyo, right? It's just a big loop, and I live on that. and it's one of the busiest train lines. The busiest 3 stations in the world are on that. It's here, Ikebukuro, Shinjuku, and Shibuya. Busiest train stations in the world, man. It's like a 1.5 million. Harajuku's busy, but it might be top 10. But I know the top 3 are right on this on this line that we on, and it's just like, yo, I be trying to maneuver and make my way around so I don't have to deal with that. But yeah, Tokyo's a different animal. You know, when I went to Hong Kong, it was kind of my first trip to like another country because I was in Okinawa. You want me to play beats so you don't have to keep on, you know what I mean?
Like fun.
Okay. No, when I went to Hong Kong, it was like my first experience going to like another country. I mean, I've been in Mexico, but you know, I lived in occupied Mexico. I was in Southern California, and so when I got to Hong Kong, I seen a Labrador dog, and I was like, "Yo, why that Labrador look Chinese, bro? Like the eyes look different." I was like, "Yo, how does this work? Like, why his eyes look different than regular Labrador dogs? He ain't had like the, you know what I mean?" I was just like,
"That's crazy."
And I don't notice that type of shit about like Japan, but there be some real, you know, especially in this neighborhood, it'd be some real wild stuff. I seen something dope the other night. Like these 2 people, like middle-aged folks, probably like me, maybe the 30s or whatever, like this, and they were playing rock scissors paper walking battle. Yeah, they was playing Jonkin, right? Yeah. And so they was playing Jonkin, rock scissors paper, and then if you win with the scissors, you take 2 big steps. If you win with the fist, you take 5 big steps. Whatever they was doing, they had a mathematics to it. Yeah. And I seen him rock, scissors, paper, and then like the girl would take hella big steps, and I was like, yo, those people are having a great time. And they were like middle-aged folks, like I think they were dating, and I was like, yeah, man, like Tokyo be on some shit sometimes. Not even just thinking about the outfits, but people. I love this place. Fucking will never leave. I'm gonna be here. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dog. Y'all looking for me? Y'all find me somewhere in Japan.
What do you miss about New York, though?
I don't miss it.
Not even like the bodegas or like
people. I am the bodega, bro. I make my own bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah. See, the problem, like the bacon out here, it's cured before it's sold, and so a lot of that fat that we get and that crispiness that we get from like the meat back home, it's not the same.
Yeah. Well, I do miss my people. Like, you know what I mean? Like I had, you know, I have still the Kaizen Club running in New York. And, you know, I let the people do what they need to do because it's for the people. But, like, yeah, there's times where I'm just like, dang, yo, I really miss my SP homies.
Yeah.
But then I just tell them, bring their asses this way. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody needs to start traveling. Yeah. If I'm out in the country, you need to be out because I was never going anywhere really too much.
Right.
You know
I mean, like, you know, I'm probably the only one of my folks, like my close folks that got like a passport and shit. And I just got it like, it happens strangely, but that's the things I miss about the States. So I'll be like in my family, we close. You know what I mean? We close. We all love each other. We ain't got, you know what I mean? Even when it be problems, it be, you know what I mean? We recognize it like family is, you know, hella important. Yeah. And so I miss my family, obviously. And sometimes I do be missing like that greasy spoon American breakfast sometimes, you know.
I can make you American breakfast if you need,
I just,
bro.
Like, like I could make it too, you know what I mean? Like the people that go, like they get you even like, if you want like a Bisquick pancake mix, you know, they get you that or whatever. But the thing is, it's like sometimes at like 3:00 at night, you want to just stumble in somewhere and do it instead of waking up and doing the dishes for it. And I miss those type of things. And Tokyo's actually gotten a lot better in the 10 years that I've been here with having like more Western type of foods. When I got here, they didn't have Taco Bell, they didn't have no Shake Shack, they didn't have Carl's Jr., they didn't have a lot of the things they have here now. And places that did sell like burgers, they were like very Japanese gastrocentric. So it would be like a Japanese style cheese, like Lotteria, like very or Mossburger. And it was just like, yeah, that ain't hitting right. But now they got a lot of Western style joints. They got barbecue joints, Soul Food House. You know, my man David and Latanya, they run that, and it's been better. It's expensive, you know. Those are my people, and those are my people, and you know, I love and support them. But the only reason I don't be there all the time is just because ain't shit up but the rent. You know what I mean? Ain't shit up
going on but the rent.
Hell yeah, and it's like, yeah, man, living here is difficult. Like, especially like I sometimes envy, you know, the cats like yourself who's out here and you know, you single or You know what I mean? Like when I first got out here, it was like that.
I ain't single.
Well, I wasn't. I mean, okay, but you know what I mean. Like the cast is out here like that. Like for me, my daughter, like just to put her into international school, it cost me like $1,700 a month.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, it's like it's wild, and that's like the base fee. And I gotta pay like on top of that for the English, the pull-out lessons to get her English up because she Japanese, you know, she Okinawa Japanese. But yeah, it's wild, man. Shit, I love that you out here though, man. I was real happy. I was telling a lot of people like, oh yeah, y'all nice and shit, but my man Mike Larry Draw is fucking nice, bro. Like, wait until he get out here.
I am the kaiju right now, bro.
Yeah,
I am kaiju right now. I'm the monster.
I was pleasantly surprised to see you rocking with my man Deza at his event, and I was like, yeah, show these cats, man.
Deza is fun, bro. He's a fun dude.
Yeah, that's our guy, man. Yeah. He real close with my homie Jet that I do Secret House Against the World with. Okay. You met Jet the other night, right? Tall, light skinned brother, big afro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do Secret House with him, and he's the one that introduced me to Deza when Deza first got out here a few years ago. It's been great to see Deza's artistry kind of develop and him to develop as a man. We was just out for his birthday party. What was that, Saturday night?
Yeah, that was fun too.
Yeah, that was a nice little spot. Like I don't even be kicking in Shinjuku.
I didn't even know. Like I'm about to go back. I'm about to go take Shorty over there.
Yeah, this is a nice little spot.
Yeah.
But let's rewind back a little bit, man.
Yeah,
so
sure.
you grew up a 4-element hip hop guy, yeah?
Yeah, I'm
pretty much.
6 elements. I call it 6.
I mean, I keep it. I've always kept it real simple. I kept it at the 4. Like a lot of people's like guaranteed 5th is knowledge. You know,
I was told beatboxing.
Well, that's another thing too. Yeah. This is the strange thing about like the oral tradition of the history and the ethics of hip hop, right?
Yeah, knowledge was I remember
if you come from like the Zulu Nation side of things, then guaranteed 5th is knowledge, right?
Yeah.
But like I didn't come from Zulu Nation side of things. I was on the West Coast, and for us it was like 4-element hip hop. And a lot of people have said that like beatboxing is an element. I remember back in the day there was people that being like, yo, double dutching is also a part of that culture and things. And I just keep it real simple. Like when we think about it, like DJ, we just insert like the producer into the DJ element of it. But obviously DJ,
I separated that,
but you know what I mean? Like and also like maybe like the 28th element of hip hop is like arguing about hip hop. It's like, no, my favorite MC, not your favorite MC trash. You know what I mean? But like I'm saying is like there was a tighter kind of approximation of these elements working and interacting along with each other. I can't tell you the last like hip hop event that I went to that had like people breaking, like just start breaking.
Yeah,
like you just don't see that shit anymore.
You don't really see it as much. You know what? It's funny. Like even graffiti, bro. Like it used. You know, it was I remember my chain of people that I knew. Like I knew Cope. Light, freaking, I can just go down names, but anyway,
Cope was just out here a couple months ago.
Yeah, Cope 2, shout out to Cope 2. Like I, you know what I mean, I know the legends, I know all the people and all that, but now it's like you don't get to see or hear about that. Even here, like when I first got here, I was like, I'm gonna link with the homies. Yeah. I met like 2 graffiti artists, but they still coming up. Yeah. So
yeah, I know. Like first, like Tokyo's not so much of a big graffiti city because all the CCTV and just like it's hard to write out here. But I got homies out here. But back in the day, like if you were a hip hop head, you knew the graph writers in your community.
Right.
Like if you didn't know them personally, you knew like, oh yeah, that fool's all city. He's getting up. You know what I mean? That's you know what I mean? That's Hindu. Like of course. You know what I mean? CBS or whatever the crews were. And like back in the day we used to really know that, but a lot of cats who are into hip hop nowadays, like it's not even in their purview. Like they're more likely to notice like a person that maybe writes a blog about, like I don't even know if that's like a part of their purview now, but back in the day it was just like, oh yeah, like I'm here. I write graffiti. You know what I mean? I'm at the hip hop event. I write graffiti. Yeah, that's my. He did my album cover. You know what I mean? Like exactly. Everybody was connected, and that's one thing that I really do miss about like the hip hop era that I grew up in. And I feel like I was one of the last of the 4-element hip hop generations. Like at a certain point, it stopped just being hip hop. It became like, oh, I'm a fan of rap music and I make a rap music. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a fan of lo-fi beats and I make a lo-fi beat. You know what I mean? And I don't like to, I'm not an old head in the sense that I want to return to the sounds and aesthetics of things. I've always enjoyed the progression and the changes within hip hop culture, but there's an undeniable aspect of it that inherently to me has a kind of philosophical through line, an ethical foundation, and a politics to it in a way myself too. And it's interesting to think about now. I was recently kind of, I saw an article, right?
Yeah.
Florida drill rapper murders somebody and he makes a song about it. You know what I mean? We all know the rap snitching jokes and shit like that, like telling on yourself in your song. But he makes it, well, like so many cats. You know what I mean? Like so many cats. Like they talk about these like inherently antisocial themes in their music. You know what I mean? Like murdering, selling drugs, these things that are not necessarily what you want your grandma knowing that you're doing, or you want your child to do after you. But it's such a big part of hip hop culture. And we've always kind of been on the side of being like, yo, like you're allowed to talk about that.
Right.
Because if you live that life, you rap about what's real to you.
Right.
But we've progressed so far as a society that now a lot of people imitate that in order to feel like they're authentic. And I was thinking to myself, like, bro, like, what is more important to me? The idea of a person rapping about killing people, actually killing people and being authentic in their music, or the kind of openness and allowing a person to rap about killing people in their music but not really being a killer. Is the authenticity more important to me than the message? You understand what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I totally get it.
Where do you fall on like that line of authenticity?
I gotta be careful with my words.
I try to do the same, but it's a sticky kind of. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I think killing is whack shit, as Kanye says. I don't think glorifying it is great at any level of it when it comes to you actually killing someone and then glorifying it. I think the situation gets lost. As an MC, you were supposed to talk about how like lyrically you would destroy somebody, not necessarily actually doing it and then talking about it. Whatever you do on your own accord, you were supposed to keep that quiet anyway, because the feds is always watching. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like. Right. So I think honestly we're dealing with the battle for your soul, man. It's spiritual warfare, as they say. And it's true. I really do believe it's true, because you have the powers that be pushing that garbage. Sure. You know what I'm saying? And that we can get with, that's a whole nother topic. That is a whole, I mean, that's actually been something that's been discussed throughout kind of culture throughout the beginning of time, like throughout the beginning of kind of the commodification of art, actually. C. Dolores Tucker was talking about back in the day, like a lot of this shit y'all talking about isn't that shit that should be out there, but we're like, we should be free to say these things. And there's a line there that is one that's kind of difficult to traverse. But one thing that is known is that a lot of people are making money off of that type of shit. And the people who are making the most money off of that type of shit are not the people that suffer the most for that type of shit. You know what I mean? It's funny to me, and it's kind of a metaphor, but actual factual in a situation is the devil owns the government. Well,
like for me, I'm a Marxist, right? So I'm a materialist, and earlier in my life, I like, as I told you, I was God body, and so I did have like a theological aspect to my worldview, and I'm kind of past that now, and I don't necessarily describe things as in terms of like good or evil, but what I hear when people tell me stuff like that is like, oh yeah, I see that you're pointing out the wickedness of things and the ill intention of things, and that kind of ravenous grabbing for control and power and resources. And I agree completely with you when it comes to that. And that's like I've got some homegirls that are socialists too, but they're hardline Christians. And with my Marxism, I'm more of a materialist. I don't use those terms to describe it, but I feel like we're on the same wavelength with that.
Nah, yeah, for sure. I mean, when I mean that, usually devil is a metaphor anyway. Right. It's not a physical being like that in a sense. You can't even see that anyway. Right. But people represent that like demons or devilish ways, right? But that's a metaphor. Yeah. So like, we're dealing with some situations situations that we're not privy to, and we're just perpetuating what they want.
Yeah.
So, for example, we can go back to any history, right? Let's go Black Panthers. How did they go down? Malcolm X. Martin Luther King. Who did that?
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
I know. We know exactly who did that shit. Right.
Tuskegee Airmen. How did that happen?
Right.
Who gave them that? You know what I'm saying? Even we can go as far as, and this might, I don't have the 1,000% facts on this, but I'm still going to speak on it a little bit anyway. Like, I was told that ticks in New York and America has Lyme disease. Naturally, ticks didn't have Lyme disease. How did they get that? That's what I'm gonna put from there. You know what I mean? We can do the research, find out where it exactly came from, and stuff like that. So like there's situations happening in the world we have no knowledge to, but we have to deal with it anyway. We're being told certain things. Like even now, there's something happening right now we don't know about, but we've been told certain things until there's a lead up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, for me, I think that most people don't have, I'm big into politics. Yeah. Like that's one of my favorite things to read. I'm big into reading about politics, culture, and art. And when it comes to trying to define a lot of the structures in society and the forces that have control over us or kind of force us into these lifestyles that we're living, like there's a lot to be said about every single aspect of it. You know what I mean? About any like ascriptive things like blackness, Native Americans and such, and I like to get into that, like but maybe that kind of deeper conversation I'd like to share like at a different time, because I really want to talk more about you specifically. And I'm wondering like which way do I go here, like when it comes to your art. I've listened to a lot of your rap tracks and a lot of the things that you say, and I see that kind of spiritual, and spiritual is a very generic term for what I'm trying to describe here, but a lot of the things that you put into your music are not the antisocial aspects of it. Even when you're freestyling, you don't reel back to like, and then I pull a gun out or I sold a drug or even when you're off the head, like the things that come to you are never from that lane. What do you think about like rapping in terms of like what is it inherent in you that kind of makes you connect with the word or do you want people to connect more intellectually with what you're saying or more like emotionally? These are the type of things I would like you to talk about when it comes to your rapping.
Yeah, well, both. Actually, like I grew up in an era where it was about intellectual properties. You wanted to use words no one was using. You wanted to say it differently from everyone else. Even if it was the same topic, it was like, wow, I've never heard anybody approach it that way. So like that's where I'm
that's
coming.
My intellectual property.
That's my intellectual property.
Styles were intellectual properties. Like I own this style.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, I'm from the Bronx, so it was very important to be original, especially when it came from originality. You know what I mean? Like Karis once said it best. He was like, can you imagine one day these kids, the day before, they were just normal kids, and this fucking beam of light comes out, and boom, hip hop is born. Like, like a big bang. So like, I consider that I have to take that into consideration, the origins of it, and continue that. So that's one of the reasons why I do that. Emotionally wise, I want you to feel the emotion. I want you to feel that like this is my hip hop symphony. You know what I'm saying? If you go to a symphony, you're gonna hear the strings, and they're gonna make you feel a certain way. You're gonna see the quietest to the crescendo. You know what I mean? You're gonna have these stories being told to you without even words being said. So I want you to feel that in that same aspect. Man, like why I don't talk about guns and stuff like that. I feel like also coming up, I wasn't shooting nobody.
Right.
I wasn't killing anybody. I was around those people, so I was allowed to say what the feeling was knowing those people. Like the story of like, if I was in trouble, those same people that were my best friends, that were happy-go-lucky, we would play around, don't play with them. They killers. Like if you came to my projects and you didn't know somebody, you wasn't allowed in, because they're gonna check you right at the gate. Like, who are you? Where you from? Would you? Because we don't know you. You could be we don't know. So I tell those stories. It's more like warnings. It's more like the be aware if you've never been in the projects before. This is what you deal with. I never was like, and I'm toting these hammers. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't, but I was around it.
Word.
You know what I mean? And then I also didn't want to paint the picture of like I'm a gangster. Because I'm not. You know what I mean?
Isn't it so weird how like this thought, everything you kind of expressed about your approach used to be like in the forefront of things, and now I feel like people are just like, all right, well, I could just talk about whatever, right? Like I'm a drill rapper now. Well, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, isn't that kind of strange?
Again, like that, it goes back to what that does to the culture. Like our culture started as positive, right? Yeah. And then now it caught fire, right? Yeah. Now it's in the mainstream. You can't have positive stuff in the mainstream nowadays the way you want it to be.
Yeah, and it's not just rap music that's a culprit of this kind of a lot of these aspects of society. It's like if you watch like any American cinema, like we're so like a lot of things have just become like objective violence that we're just lived through. Most people, you hear about a mass shooting, it's like, damn, again. It's like we've kind of allowed that to be like an objective aspect of our reality that is just something that happens, and that's just the way that society is structured. It's like car accidents. It's like we've got safety features here, but car accidents are like a thing that is always going to be a part of our society. We cannot change that, even if we decided to change infrastructure towards more public transportation that pollutes less. Like a lot of people internalize these things like, oh yeah, like I go to the movie theaters, like people are going to die. Even our kids are just well aware of like, oh yeah, violence. And we might be selling it to an 8-year-old in a different way than Saving Private Ryan. It's like, don't worry, the Avengers are killing aliens. You know what I mean? And it's just something that ideologically is so stuck in people's heads. And it's not just rap music. In fact, rap music is a lot of the bad rap for it. But you know, a lot of the music does. The issue for me, and the reason why I'm constantly pointed towards that, is because that is my culture. Those are my people. My, you know, like a big part of my politics is the liberation of all black and brown people, and even the white folks too. You know what I mean? Like, but when this kind of like positive message and desire to move beyond those type of things that are really destroying aspects of the small communities that we come from, it's like I got to say a little bit, you know what I mean? I got to allow for it a little bit. But that's also why I was like hating on, like, I hate the idea that you could be a correctional officer and then be like the biggest boss. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say no names. I do, but I don't need to. You guys already recognize game. But that's what's up.
You know, it's funny. Like, I hear you on that in the aspect of the characteristics of it. But at the end of the day, man, people, they're gonna gotta get out. They gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, listen. If I, and I'm not taking no sides, but if I knew that I was a security officer, but my passion is rap, you know, I'm trying to get this money real quick. Yeah,
that's the biggest
opportunity. You know what I mean? So
that's one of the biggest things. Like, I'm not going. Like, you trying to get your money. I understand it.
Yeah.
But you know, for me, like a part of it is not so much me being against it as me not really allowing a lot of those things into my kind of diet, so to speak.
I got you.
You know, Saul Williams. I've been watching like
I rewatch Saul Williams.
That's the god, bro. Yeah. Like I've been a huge fan of Saul since I saw Slam. Yeah. Oh no, since I heard Lyricist, the first Lyricist Lounge album, right? Back in, what was this, like 98, 97, 98. Yeah. But and I met him for the first time a few months through the homie, and but I've been listening to a lot of his stuff, and I came across an interview several years back where he was talking about like your mental diet, right?
Right.
He's like saying like if you eat Cheetos all day, your shit's going to be orange. It affects you even though you don't think it's affecting you.
Right.
And for me, people are like, yo, you listen to like this artist or that artist, and I'm like, nah, I can't really get into that because it affects me. You know what I mean? I notice when I listen to a lot of music that's like really about like opulence, having things, being like having opposition, having, you know, bitches and things like that.
Right.
I start to notice those thoughts subtly start to infiltrate my own kind of daily perception of things. And I don't, it's not like I can't like separate the two, but sometimes I just be like, bitch, and I'm just like, oh man, I don't need to call everybody a bitch. I don't think I'll ever get rid of that, but
however,
I'm trying to be a little better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So word.
I feel that.
What type of do you know like your, I know, see, the thing is with like most Black Americans, like the ones that are like Black Americans and not necessarily immigrants from like Jamaica or whatever that don't have any way of tracing back that furthest lineage. You know what I mean?
Get where you're going from.
Do you know what type of Black man you are? Like
Yeah.
what your mother is, and you got some Native American blood in you?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Also, my lineage is in West Africa, so Nigerian, Senegalese.
Okay. Did you do like a DNA test? Or?
I did do the test.
Okay. See, I'm against it. I won't do it.
I mean, they already got my blood anyway, so
no doubt
from the very beginning.
Yeah, for me, it's like I have a bit of an advantage in that degree. Like my mother, she from the Philippines. She came to the United States when she was in her 30s, so I know the Philippines is like Spanish blood, and you know what I mean, indigenous Filipino blood and all that. And my father, you know, he was born on a reservation, and he knows a few generations back that everybody, most of them, there was always one person from the reservation, right? Okay. So I know that likely.
Taino?
No. Like, I'm Black Seminole, so Geechee-Gola. Like,
Geechee-Gola, okay.
Yeah,
so I'm Geechee-Gola.
Yeah, so and it's like I got that, so I was like, I don't need the blood test for it. You know, my father, we got that direct lineage to like, you know, Chief John Horse, like Black Native Americans
from South Carolina.
Yeah. You know but you know the Seminole tribe is from the Everglades of Florida, and so you know they fought Hamilton. They worked their way to Oklahoma and then back into Mexico, led by you know also Osceola and by you know the Black Seminole Chief John Horse. Right. And so I kind of know that about it. But one of the things I always like to ask, you know, my brothers and sisters from the United States, like, how much do you know a little bit about like your background, and is it something that you feel strengthens your connection with like Africa and your other brothers and sisters? Do you have like a
I have more connection to my Geechee family.
Okay.
South Carolina, my southern roots. I think my African roots I know not much about when it comes to feeling like I'm connected to Africa. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what that means. I think it means more to me. I'm just connected to Black people regardless. I feel like I feel way more connected to Black people here in Japan than I have anywhere else. Just for the simple fact that when I see a fellow brother, like I'm just like, yo, you know how that goes. You here, we here.
Yeah.
Like,
I see you.
Know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. People like sometimes I'll be with like one of the white homies from my job and shit, and somebody Black walk by, I just dap them real quick, and they be like, probably, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, but it's dope. It's especially dope out here because sometimes you'll be sitting in a train car and you got several shades of melanin more than anybody in the like 2 cars down. But I do kind of enjoy that. Like, it's also one of the things I like about it here is that, like in the United States, it's not like that. It's like, if you're in a place that's like rare, you might be like word, but if you're in a place that's like all Black folks, you ain't doing that. It's like I'm not, you know, stick to yourself. And out here, everybody's safe for the most part. You know, you still probably got your predators, like your male sexual type of predators that try to, you know what I mean, drink girls. And, well, of course, like you go to the thing and they drink and they trying to like manipulate women, or there's that type of predator. The Black women still have to worry about things, but the Black man, it's like, he ain't about to rob me. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't about to rob me. He not asking for my shoe size to take my shoes. You know what I mean?
Not asking what time it is.
But our sisters still do have to worry about that type of stuff out here, because I've heard some of the horror stories, and it's different in the United States, but it's still like, you know, the sisters is always the one that's the most oppressed out of us and shit. So
yeah, we better protect our sisters.
Word. Do you think hip hop is? Do you want me to play beats? I could play beats.
Oh no, it's playing.
Okay. I would like to turn it down because the 404s don't have ducking, so when we talking, the music is right at the same ear level.
Well, you know, play
all right,
stuff.
yeah. The homie Jansport just came out with some, so let me just play that.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, word. Shout out to Jansport J, but I do want to ask some more questions about rap. Like, what do you think about, you know, a lot of cats, they approach hip hop in the same way that they kind of approach sports. You know, that's one of the things about the debates. Like, he the best, he the illest, he the best lyricist. Like, and that is a part of it, because most aspects of hip hop are at their core like combative in a way that's like, I'm number one. Oh, you saying you number one, so we're gonna have to figure this out. It's like a basketball team. But at another aspect of hip hop culture is to like, this is art. And like my art doesn't have to be number one. It just has to be my art. Like, what do you think about the idea of hip hop as art or hip hop as like sport? Where do you fall on that line?
It's both, honestly, because you have your Olympians, and you have your just people who like to just spar and do their whatever they do in the park, metaphorically, right? So like you have your battle rappers. That's the sport. Mm-hmm. That's the spar. That's the kung fu. That's our Olympics.
Yeah.
And
then
the dojo. It's the dojo. And then you have your Nas's. You have your whoever else with a name. You know what I mean? That is all for the art. Just for the art. You know what I mean? Painting their pictures, telling their stories. You got your MF Dooms. Recipes of Doom. So I think both is needed. Both is part of the bigger element. So, yeah.
You being like a New Yorker, that line is real like fuzzy for y'all. You know what I mean? Like New York. I mean, you're like, I'm artistic, I'm poetic, I'm raw, I'm original, but also you could get these bars.
Oh no,
you know what I mean? Like
y'all
are like that's like it's. I feel like it's baked into the East Coast rappers in a very different way than it is some other regions. Like
you know
what
the
I
reason
mean?
why
Like the bar, like bars, like other coasts, like they could do sing song style double time or whatever, but where the lyrics are not secondary, but the lyrics are not like the meticulous craftsmanship of writing these bars is a very East Coast thing.
I mean, it still is. It depends where you looking. You know what I mean? Like, it is about the bar. Like, cause you can listen to anything, right? You can listen to music and just listen and not hear what their people are saying. Yeah. You know what I mean? For hip hop, for me, I can't speak for everyone else. If you grew up in the era of paying attention, because rap, someone's talking to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have to listen. And it just so happens it's in rhythm, so you able to bop your head and do all that stuff. But we're there's a message, and and it can go even back to slavery days when we used to sing about what the heck was going on, how to get the hell out of there.
Slave message is like this is a jam, but there was a map.
There was a map.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
If you pay attention, there's a map.
Yeah. So like,
that's what's up.
I say if you are a true hip hop fan, or if you're just getting into hip hop in its truest form, pay attention to what people are saying. Yeah. Listen to what they're saying. So where I'm from, you had to listen to what people were saying because you wanted to make sure they were saying something that you enjoyed. Yeah. So that's why we were very meticulous about words. And yeah, catch these hands. You can catch these hands for sure. The reason why is because, in the Bronx, growing up, there was a lot of pain and suffering. Yeah. A lot of fathers was locked up. You had mothers, taking care of their responsibilities when their dad wasn't there. Yeah. But also growing up, when you grow up with a mom without, having a mom without a dad, you're gonna absorb the only emotional aspect of it, because that's women have that. They give you nurture, but they also you're gonna understand emotion more than logic in an aspect. So. You got some emotional motherfuckers out there that have a lot of pain built up. They don't know what to do with it. So they battling. Yeah, word. You know what I'm saying? They talk and they talk. They saying what they got to say, and we feel that pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I obviously I feel that hip hop is high art. Or not necessarily everything, you know what I mean, with any art form. But I do believe that hip hop is high art, and some of the people that are writing these words down are some of the greatest wordsmiths in the history of written language. You know what I mean? And I've always been big on the written word and the power of a word being able to unlock things. And it goes back to my hip hop is the reason that I have such a profound love for reading and have such a profound love for poetry, because I've heard like 3 sentences that just so powerful, they just burn
change
into
your life, man.
You know what I mean? And I've heard word combinations that were just like, how does this fool's mind work?
Like
You know what I
that.
mean? Like, truly, truly brilliant. And one of the things is like I feel like it's such an underserved community. You know, hip hop, like you were saying, the Bronx is a lot of pain. Hip hop comes from some of the worst social conditions. It grew out of some of the worst social conditions that people in the United States had gone through in terms of, you know, modernity.
Yeah.
And that's where this art form grows out of, in
From
the
the
tradition
mud.
of blues and jazz and gospel. And it's a part of that tradition, and I take it very seriously. And that's why, like, before I champion the combat aspect of it, I always champion the kind of artistic aspects of it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, of course.
that wasn't the question I was asking you, but that's kind of where I lie in it.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, when somebody tells me, like, oh, you know, the greatest rapper of all time is like Eminem. He sold the most. He's super lyrical and putting it down. And he's or like Nas is the greatest, or Jay-Z is the greatest. A lot of the metrics that people are using to determine like who's the greatest, a lot of those rely on that combat aspect of sales being a part of that catalog. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not saying that that's not a fun metric to use, but we got 50 years of hip hop, bro, and like nobody in the world is going to tell me that Kool Keith is not one of the illest motherfuckers that ever rapped in it. Like,
Yeah.
there's nobody that did it like him. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like Old Dirty Bastard. There's nobody, like, there's so many true originals, and I'm just not in that 26th element of, it's time for me to talk to you about who's
the
number
best.
one.
Yeah.
But that's still fun too, though. You know what I mean?
I really believe there is no best. Like
Yeah.
Nas said, ain't no best. But I do have my favorites.
Oh yeah. Tell me about some of your favorites. Because I was going to ask some of those questions. Like,
it ranges though, because it ranges.
16 years old. Who was your favorite MC?
I think it was definitely Lupe.
Okay.
Lupe was definitely one of my favorites.
So you probably about 10 years younger than me then.
Nah.
No?
No.
When did Lupe drop? Like 2004?
Yeah, but Lupe was out. Lupe the Killer. You know what I mean?
See, I didn't. The first I got really introduced to him was Kick Push or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
my first interaction with Lupe was Testify with Kanye West. Gotta testify. Come
Was
up
that
in the
before
spot,
Kick
look at
Push?
Extra Fly. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
That was the first time I ever heard of Lupe. And I was in high school.
Okay. See, I wasn't
Coming out of
listening to Kanye like that.
I wasn't really neither, but that
I wasn't
one
listening
song-
to a lot. I was so deeply underground. Like, the only cats I listen to are not selling records on a. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I was really on that. Like, my nephew was like, "Yo, this Kanye record is good." I listened to it like, "Oh yeah, that's a jam." But
Yeah. Who was I listening to at 16? At 16, I was listening to like a lot of underground.
I was like,
Dipset, DMX.
RZA and Dell were probably my favorites when I
Dell
was
the Funky
16.
Funky Homo Sapien?
I loved Dell back in the day.
Yeah. I was listening to The Roots.
Okay.
I was definitely listening to DMX. I
Hell
was
yeah.
actually street
Rest in
teaming
peace.
for Rough Riders.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
That was a big part of New York culture right there.
Yeah, man.
Street teams.
We Are the Streets by the Locks. That was bumping heavy in my fucking.
Oh, word. They got this. That's the one with the funny skit, right?
Yeah,
We'll be raping you, raping.
Yeah,
We used to
yeah.
say that all the time, and it's mad toxic, but it was hilarious back in like '98 or something.
Yeah,
You know what I
they,
mean? Like,
they wasn't talking about raping women. They were
Nah,
talking
it
about
was-
the 360 deals.
Yeah, they was talking about Puffy.
Yeah,
word.
exactly.
But that shit was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
We never used it to say that we were doing that to women. We was doing that to like, yeah, you got ate up, bro.
Yeah,
You
you
trash,
got ate,
bro.
yeah,
You
yeah.
died a hoe. Yeah.
You died of.
Yeah. We was toxic. It was a different type of toxicity back then, but yeah. But
well, speaking of toxicity, the album Toxicity by System of a Down.
okay.
was my favorite album.
Oh, that's right.
16.
You're a very musically eclectic individual too. That we
Yes.
didn't really talk about that. Yeah.
I was listening to Coldplay.
Okay.
I was listening to Gnarls Barkley.
Mm.
I was listening to who else was I listening to? Dilla.
Oh yeah.
Who else?
Who is like an MC that you think is like top tier? Like a lyricist, like an MC's MC, like a not necessarily like they meet the criteria. I'm mostly thinking about the way that you structure your lines, and you are phenomenal off of the head and intricate off of the head. I'm not saying that they have to be like towards your style, but like, who do you think is somebody that you look at and be like, what they're doing is amazing?
Rock Marciano, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's
production and fucking
like I was listening to him coming here.
Okay.
Like I feel like he's the type of artist that like I can just sit and listen and not like, I'm not critiquing, I'm just listening and enjoying. I'm enjoying it.
He's also kind of like one of the forefathers of this kind of new rap subgenre of the drumless. Like, oh, you ain't gonna you ain't gonna nod your head to this. You gonna listen intently on figuring out the pieces. Him and Alchemist though, like the realist off of Murder Music, that with Cool G Rap is like one of the first like very incredibly subtle drums on it, almost like it's no drum tracks. Like that shit goes back. But so Rock Marciano, amazing. You fuck with Ka?
Oh, Brooklyn Ka?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I was listening to a lot of Black Milk.
Okay. The new Black Milk came out.
Yes, I've seen his new video.
Yeah. We did a review on it. I mean, it's Black Milk. It's solid lyrics. It's incredible production. It's fucking also a dope ass name. That's an ill name.
He was the first famous rapper producer that when I actually spoke out to him on Twitter, he answered me back.
Oh, word.
I had questions about mixing and mastering, and I was talking to him about parallel compression, and he was like, honestly, I do my best not to compress anything on my production. He barely uses compression.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, and I took that to heart. I was like, okay, cool. So I don't compress as much.
And all of his shit it sounds phenomenal too. Yeah. Unlike a lot of underground stuff that's mastered very poorly, his shit sounds like he's recording in like $100,000 studio.
I feel like he doesn't get enough credit at all. Yeah. I think from where he's come from, he came from the Dilla era.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The first track I heard from him was Reunion. Yeah. Which is a Slum Village track. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, yeah.
So I mean, like I hope that he's really able to like do even more than what he's doing. I mean, he's doing a lot, but I mean, like even more. Like I want to see him shine even more.
With cats like him, I wish him all the success in the world. Like whatever level he wants to get to, I hope he gets there.
He should come here. He should come to Japan.
He been out here before. Odyssey been out here.
Shout out that's my homie.
Okay, yeah. I mean he's also like he's also on that kind of Black Milk level of incredible production, very dope lyricism and shit too. Let me see. Hold on. If Arnold Schwarzenegger was to make a rap album, who would you want to produce it?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be hard. Yeah. Who would you want ghostwriting for Schwarzenegger? Rock Marciano bars. Can you imagine that?
I mean, we can probably get that now through AI.
Oh, no doubt. In fact, we opened the door, Pandora's box here.
Nah, you know who would be interesting to hear, right? For Arnold Schwarzenegger, I would like to see Busta Rhymes, right? For
that's actually crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't
because
my people.
Yeah.
Make them wanna jump.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Arnold.
Yeah.
I do want to have you play like one of your tracks. We'd be quiet and really rock with it. But I'm gonna go through a couple questions first. Yeah, so I saw a poll the other day on the YouTube that was asking like who is the most underrated MC, and it had Styles P, Black Thought, Master Ace, and AZ. And I'm wondering like who is your vote as being the most underrated on that list?
I got questions. Like, would you say Styles P is underrated though? Everyone knows who Styles P is.
Would you say that Black Thought is underrated? You know what I mean?
Everyone knows who Black Thought
now
is.
They do. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm a Roots fan, so like,
exactly. So before the even the BET cipher with him and Eminem, I was like, Black Thought is one of the best. He's one of my favorites. Yeah. But after that what was it, Sway in the morning or Funk Flex freestyle, the 10-minute joint? Yeah. Now everybody says he's the best. So if that's what I was wondering about, like on the vote, he got 43% of the vote saying that he's underrated, and I was just like, that don't make no sense to me.
I mean, if anything, then we got common denominators, right? You said AZ and who else?
Master Ace.
Wow. So I haven't heard a lot of people talk about Master Ace
That's
or
how I feel.
AZ. So it's not even one of the two.
My vote is for Master Ace. He's been putting it down since the fucking symphony. You know what I mean? Like so dope through every single era and continues to be dope. Like he came out with an album like a few years back with Marco Polo, and I'm like, it's incredibly dope. But most people don't. Like AZ's got a few albums. Right. Master Ace has albums, generational albums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got albums that were dope going back before people who were voting on this were even born. Right. And I just feel like, yeah, we'll give him some fucking respect.
Yeah, so let's go with Master Ace and AZ. Because I know AZ just came out with some stuff too I haven't really heard people talk about.
Yeah. So rank these artists by any type of criteria that you use for it.
Okay.
So Big Boy of Outkast.
Okay.
Inspector Deck. Dale the Funky Homo Sapien. 1, 2, 3.
All right, let's go with one first.
Okay.
Big Boy.
Okay.
We're gonna do microphones.
Okay.
From 1 to 10 microphones.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a 9. Being high, cause it's Big Boy. He repped the South so crazy.
Yeah. Incredible
rapper. Incredible rapper.
Incredible.
So Big Boy got 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Deck. Inspector Deck.
Inspector Deck. Ooh, I'm gonna have to give him a 9 out of 10. You can't. It's Wu-Tang.
The bars
baby.
are so good.
It's
right?
good. It's really good. Yeah. And then
Del
the Funky Homo Sapien. I'm gonna have to give him a 9 out of 10 too, because Del is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Super dope. Even the way he had his own style, even how he like pronunciated.
Yeah.
He
did a lot. I mean, he wrote for Ice Cube. You know what I mean? Like, so, he did a lot.
Yeah. So they all get 9s.
Okay, I like how you see the reason I ask this question is because I like to see how people would prefer to rank them. You know, because these are kind of separate but equal type of artists. You know what I mean? You got like one of the greatest in the South with Big Boy, who has classic albums, but it's constantly overshadowed by his partner. Right, and then you got Inspector Deck, who has one of the greatest verses in hip hop canon. Yeah. People consider the Triumph verse like one of the greatest verses of all time. But he also doesn't have an album that's like really hits like that. Right. And then you have also an underground independent artist in Del the Funky Homo Sapien, who shaped so much sound from the early 90s all the way up. Like his 90s run probably puts him, in my opinion, top 5 West Coast artists. All of his albums up to the work with Hieroglyphics to Deltron and the work with the Gorillas. Yeah. And then even like, so they all have very different careers. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's interesting to think about that.
And that the Big Boy situation for me is really highly big because he, like, back in the 90s, like, nobody was looking. Yeah. And they was really putting on, they was showing the world, like, yo, we country Bama motherfuckers, and we showing you real lyric.
They've got 3 classic albums, bro. Yeah. I mean, AT Aliens, fucking Aquemini, Stankonia. Yeah, I mean, you know, even before, like, they're like, one of the reasons that I really like to champion Big Boy is just because he's constantly overshadowed by Andre. And Andre should get all of his flowers. He's incredible. But people be making it seem like Big Boy was carried. And I'm like, bro, like, he wasn't carried at all. Like, he wasn't carried at all. Like, those albums are them together. Yeah. It's Big Boy in his studio giving art direction. You know what I mean? It's both of them putting it down. So I love Big Boy. Here goes a Bronx question. This one might be difficult for you. You might not care at all. Desus or Mero?
Oh, wow. You can't have both, bro.
After the breakup, I find myself kind of like being on one side of them now.
Really? Which who?
I mean, now I like you know, during the whole shit, like, I really like Desus, like their whole run. Yeah, Mero's funny with the voices or whatever, but I'd be like, Desus got some intelligent bars that fucking kill me. But after they broke up and kind of hearing the story more, I'm on the Mero side a little bit.
Really? I don't even know the story, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
It was like. We don't have to get into it. But you know, I love both of those guys, and I thought I'd throw you a curveball with that one because you're from the Bronx, those your people and shit.
Those both my guys. Like,
I love Mero because, you know, Mero, like, Desus is like a cat. He been around, but Mero was fucking writing, bro. He was a fucking writer. Yeah. And now he write bars, comedy bars, but he also be getting up. Like I'm certain that fool still got Marcus on him and shit. Yeah,
he was that as a gangster.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything from the Bronx. Even I love Ice Spice, yo. She's dope to me. And I know everybody's like, Ice Spice, yo. She came from anything coming out of the Bronx, bro. To me is just I support it, bro. Cause you gotta people gotta understand that like we come from nothing. We come from nothing, like nothing, bro. Word. And for her to rep the Bronx, I get it. People like, yo, she's an industry. I don't give a shit. She from the Bronx and she's I've
only listened to like 2 of her songs and I was just like, word. I don't have anything negative to say about her. I think she a good looking person. She look interesting.
Yeah,
she got an interesting look.
Yo, my favorite joint she came out with is Deli, yo. That shit slaps hard, bro. That beat is crazy. How she delivering is crazy. She ain't talking about guns and shit. She just talking about her homies just like going out having fun.
Word.
Like I'm just like, come on, man.
Word. Yeah, I the only real like major artist that I'd really be liking to hate on is like Drake and J. Cole. And the only reason I be hating on J. Cole is because don't tell me that you don't read, bro. Don't try to be smart and tell me that you don't read. And also, No Name is the homie.
No Name from Chicago?
Yeah. No Name is the homie. She's one of our patrons. She's one of my favorite artists. And the way that he came at her online at one time, I just feel a way about it. So I just be hating.
I feel you.
I mean, that's my, and I've been hating on him before that, but people know me from my show as being like, why you always hating on J. Cole? And I'm like, I don't know. I got problems.
You know what? I gotta ask her. I'm sure she put it out, but she had changed her name from No Name Gypsy to No Name.
Yeah.
And I'm curious why she did that.
She said that she wasn't aware of the racial connotation of the word gypsy.
But that
they're
includes,
called Romani now. Yeah.
But okay, so maybe I don't want to say it. Yeah.
I think it was like you remember Rich Chigga?
He had to change his name.
Into Rich Brian. He didn't kind of like.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the gypsy. Well, I don't want to misspeak, but I was told that the gypsy word was also included with people of color too. So like, I think
it's supposed to be an ethnic group, group that are called the Romani now. I think I don't know the science of it, but I heard that was the primary reason. She just was like, it don't mean enough to me to potentially offend a group of people. You know what I mean?
Well, shout out to her though. I love her music though.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's also a Pan-African socialist, a leftist, and that my politics rock with that. That's why we got the No Name Book Club in the back.
Nice.
And she's just a supporter of us for a long time before we even knew that she was supporting us. But
shout out to her.
Man, shout out. What's a perfect album to you?
What it?
No, I don't mean like describe. No, I don't mean like describe it. But like, what's an album that to you just like no skips, incredible art? I love it.
Wow.
Any genre,
genre. I love this. Daniel Caesar.
Okay. I don't know that. I mean,
Daniel
I know Daniel Caesar.
R&B artist.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that one.
Three just songs. I will never skip any of the songs ever. I play it all the way through. System of a Down. Any System of a Down album.
Shout out.
Steal This album, Toxicity, the original System of a Down debut album. Fuck. Oh man, great. What else? Lupe Fiasco's The Cool. I will never skip a song off that. Get into some hip hop stuff. Any Rock Marciano album.
What's your favorite one though? I think I like Rosebud 2.
Rosebud 2's dope.
Revenge, yeah.
I really like Reloaded.
Okay.
Freaking Pimp by Strikes Back was dope. Freaking Mossberg was
What did you think about Elephant Man's Bones?
Yo, I've heard it a few times. I'm gonna let it rock, but I need to like sit down with it.
That one kind of got away from me a little bit. That was the first like rock project that I was like, I just didn't go back to it much. Maybe I didn't digest it right.
Nah, it's Rock Marciano, so I just, you know what? Like sometimes I don't have the exact time to sit and listen to the whole thing. I did listen, I heard it, and I'm listening to it again. I want to get his records. I want to get all his records.
Physical copies.
Yeah, once, because right now
they hard to get. I mean, that's money because his fan base is.
I don't give a shit, bro. I hope he sees this. I'll pay whatever when I got the money, bro. Like Rock Marciano to me is like having a Stevie Wonder album to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that, it's that important to me to have that. That's like MF Doom's like Mad Villain. That's another album I would never skip any song off that album, bro.
Yeah.
Mad Villain it got me out through a lot of stuff. Like so
even you having girl problems and shit, it's like, this one works for the girl problems.
I lived in San Francisco for a year.
Oh, bet.
And I was poor, super poor, bro. Like the poorest of poor. Like my friends, we were in Safeway stealing meat.
Oh yeah.
We would be stuffing.
I was in the base stealing meat from Safeway too, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Niggas was stealing meat. Yeah. I was the only one that qualified for food stamps. So I ran up the check. Anybody who didn't have food, come to my house. We have a potluck. We cooking Sundays. We had 4 Sundays. So we made sure we did the right thing and then read up on that. Like we were poor. So MF Doom was what I was listening to. I had a Zoom. Had a Zoom. I
wanted one.
The only thing that was on my
When was you out in the Bay? Like what years? Because Zoom is like the years I was out there and shit. Like 2007, 2008?
Yeah, I was there 08.
I left late 2007. I left the Bay.
Okay, so I was there 2008. I was going to the Art Institute of California in San Francisco.
Oh, okay, bet. I was in San Jose, but we drive up to the city all the time.
Yeah. So I had a Zoom. The only thing that was on my Zoom was my beats, whatever joints I was working on. Every single Jay Dilla, anything that was out at that time.
Jay Loves Japan, Donuts,
Donuts, Welcome to Detroit. For like all the donut joints. I had every single interview he had. Like every single interview, bro, that was out from before, like right when he passed.
Word.
And that was my favorite thing to listen to.
Yeah.
Like the beats,
Dilla,
but listening to Dilla talk about like his process and all his thoughts, I was like, I'm thinking like that too. That's crazy. So that was wild. But Doom, please, and Mad Villainy, all that. Oh man,
yeah, this is a Doom household. We got Doom.
I see.
But my love, like I've been a fan of Doom forever and shit. Like, but also my favorite villain. He's not a villain. Dr. Doom. My Dr. Doom and Doom is like my favorite.
Speaking of Doom, I got a track out now that I'm not releasing it like on Spotify or anything like that. Of me and Doom. Unofficially. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, bet. Yeah, power.
But yeah, anybody who's watching this, they can actually listen to it if they purchase an item off my Nightmare Fusa store.
Okay, yeah, we'll plug all that at the end. I'll put it in the show notes. So focus. Superman or Goku?
Goku.
Arnold or Stallone?
Ooh, Arnold.
Primo or RZA?
Primo.
Pac or Biggie?
Damn. I'm gonna keep it Brooklyn, Biggie.
Okay. Jay or Nas?
Nas. Wait.
Wait. Okay.
Damn. See why you made me do that? Because I might have to work with Jay-Z and Nas.
Okay. ODB or DMX?
DMX.
Okay. Let me see. I got anything else? What is your favorite Jackie Chan movie?
Rumble in the Bronx.
Don't worry. When I wrote the question, I didn't even think like, yeah, of course. Of course. What is, give me a favorite movie or two.
Damn, RoboCop. People want to laugh at me for that shit.
Nah, RoboCop is fucking incredible.
Yeah. It's one of those confusing Incredibles because you don't know like if they're serious or what. Like you're not sure.
Oh, that shit is fucking documentary.
28 Days Later.
Okay.
On the horror tip, It Follows, which was a really good movie.
I don't know that one.
It's basically about it talks about like STDs basically. That's but the thing is like this lady has sex with this guy and there's a demon who follows the last person that person has sex with.
Oh shit!
And if they don't have sex with somebody else at a certain time, they die.
Oh shit!
So like. Yeah,
that's a metaphor. Yeah, that's a metaphor and a half. Okay.
Yeah. So that movie, Pulp Fiction, always classic to me.
Yeah, word.
It was just Quentin Tarantino movie. What else? Juice, one of my favorite hood movies. Menace to Society, one of my boys in the hood. I was about to say Boys in the Hood. And another hood movie that I like. Let's go comedy. Step Brothers, any Will Ferrell movie, honestly. Let's just say that any Will Ferrell movie. Gangs of New York. With John C. Reilly when he played a serious role. Yeah.
Sci-fi. Hit me with some
I was
sci-fi.
gonna-
I mean,
okay,
RoboCop is top tier sci-fi,
yeah,
but
sci-fi.
yeah.
I'm really into kaiju right now.
Okay.
So I'm watching like Pacific Rim.
I love Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I
That's
need
one of
more
my
of
favorite
that. I
kaiju.
need more of that.
I need
though.
more Guillermo del Toro Pacific Rim because the second one ain't hit for me, but the artistic direction in that first one,
Yeah, the first one's
incredible.
crazy. I need more of that, man. I need more
word.
of like Gundam. I need more of like
Word.
Sentai.
I would like if they would kind of move towards more of the Japanese properties when it comes to the kaijus and the I like the last Godzilla. I was like, bro, this is like me hitting toys together. Like this is exactly what I want from a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no doubt, I feel that. Wow. Let's see.
Did you see Cloverfield?
Yeah.
That was a good kaiju, even though they didn't really show.
The subsequent films about the Cloverfield universe were also good too and shit. Like it was like not the moving cam joints, but like the ones where it's like, oh, this is a Cloverfield movie. Yeah, it's connected. Yeah. I forget what they call, but they got one with like John Goodman. They like hiding in the bunker or whatever. Yeah, solid work. Do you have a favorite like actor?
Yeah, Denzel Washington.
Favorite artist?
What kind of artist?
That does artwork like illustration, painting, yeah.
Man.
Comic book artist. You know what I mean?
I haven't touched a comic book in a long time. Bro.
Oh, see, I'm a big comic book head and shit. I could rifle off a lot of comic book artists.
I need to get my Japanese up because I really want to start reading manga. Like in its purest form.
Yeah.
Berserk though.
Okay.
Berserk
is hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I just recently got hip to that. Like
the traditional Berserk. And obviously Akira, which would be illustration wise my favorites. Art.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of names off back though.
No worries. Like these questions are not all that serious. I just like to toss them out to get like to give a person an opportunity to share a little parts of their kind of psyche in their mind and how they feel about things. I guess the last one is like, what are your favorite foods? Like, what do you fuck with? Earlier we were talking about, like bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody loves a sandwich.
Big on ramen right now. I mean, we live here. That's one of the reasons. Sushi is my favorite.
Yo, that was ramen when I first got out here blew up my sodium so bad, bro. Like
really?
one night I thought I was having a heart attack and I was like 31. I was like, oh my God. Like I can't.
Shit.
Just because I was bombing ramen like twice a day, like double big bowls and shit. It was like too much sodium. But yeah, I love some ramen. I had ramen yesterday.
Yeah, I love steak.
Oh hell yeah. word.
Soul food, but I haven't had soul food in a long time. It's funny. I don't even really miss it, but because I know I can find it here, which is good. But man, I'm a foodie, so I'm looking for more things that I can eat in the sense of like just great tasting food out here.
Word.
Tacos, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I know the taco spots, man.
Yeah, I had one taco spot. Where was it? I think it was in. I want to say Shibuya. I don't remember where I was at, man. That shit was so fucking slamming, bro. I gotta remember the name of that.
Sarasa's got a spot in Shibuya.
Me and Deza went. I think Deza, and Lena went. Was it Lena? I don't remember who was with us.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, in Shibuya, Sarasa's got her spot out there. DJ Sarasa.
Okay.
Casa de Sarasa. It's expensive, but it's good. Chili's in Harajuku. Owned by the homie Carlos. He's from Mexico. It's just authentic and shit, and it's also like Japanified a little bit. So he got like shiokoji beef steak burritos. Shiokoji is like injected, like marinated in like this salt blend. It's hella bomb though. It's not overly salty, but it's like
it was actually me, Deza, and Nicolina that went.
Okay.
She's a beat maker, producer. Hella dope.
Okay.
Dope. But yeah, tacos is the shit. Just a good home cooked meal is always good for me.
Yeah, I be fucking around. Like I love rice and meat. Like any combination of that shit. Rice and meat, steak and rice, all of that type of stuff. Like I try to get back on my Dean this year and stray away from pork, but my daughter and my wife, you
can't have food without pork out here. That's one of the reasons when I first came out, because I was on my don't eat pork for a long time, at least like 10 years.
You get a salad out here and they're like, there's little bits of pork in it. It's like, damn,
bacon
like,
bits.
Yeah. Or even if you just wanted like ramen without meat, it's like, oh yeah, that's a pork broth. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's how they get you. But you know, they also do a lot more in cleaning the pork and taking care of the pork out here than we do in the West.
Kosher.
That's why, well, like even like I was telling you earlier, the reason that the bacon don't hit the same way as it does in the States is because it's cured before it's sold to you, so it renders a lot of the fat and shit off of it in the first place, which makes it slightly more healthy. But it's also the reason why it ain't like hella greasy and ain't crispy like it. You know what I mean? Like I was wondering, like, why do the hot dogs taste different? Why do the bacon taste different? Why do the sausages taste different? It's because they do a lot of things with the pork before it's processed and sold to you.
To make sure it's salty.
Like sometimes you want a hot dog and it's like, yo, bro, like what is wrong with this hot dog?
Yeah.
It's because it ain't got no snout in it. It ain't got no, pigtail or whatever in it. It's like, it's only the good parts of it or whatever. So
shout out to Japan.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But at the same time, sometimes I want a little snout maybe. I'm fucking disgusting. You know what I mean?
I want to feel disgusting.
Yeah. Let's play some music, man. You wanna play some beats or you know?
Yeah, I'll play a couple of beats.
Play some beats, and we'll put all the joints in the show notes or whatever to let you guys really get with it. And while these beats play, we'll be a little bit quiet in the background. You know what I mean?
What's this?
Yeah, you can turn it up. Yeah.
Let me find a good one for you guys. All right, let's do it.
Used to be my dog, you was in my left. Screaming ride and die, I thought you would die. Now down to it, you can't even ride with me. Now it's for war, you ain't on the side with me. Used to be my dog, used to be my, you was in my, used to be my dog. Used to be my dog. Used to be my dog, you was in my left titty, you was in my left. Used to be my dog, 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 be my dog. Used to be my dog, be my dog, be my dog. You was in my left titty, you was in my left. You can't even ride with me, you can't even ride with me, you can't even ride with me, you can't even ride. You can't even ride with me, you can't even ride with me, you can't even ride with me, you can't even ride. You can't even ride with me, you can't even ride with me, you can't even ride with me, you can't even ride. You can't even ride with me, you can't even ride with me, you can't even ride with me, you can't even ride. Used to be my dog, you was in my left titty. Scream, ride and die, I thought you would die with me. Found out you a bitch, you can't even ride with me. Now it's a war, you ain't on the side with me. Used to be my dog, you was in my left titty. Scream, ride and die, I thought you would die with me. Found out you a bitch, you can't even ride with me. Now it's a war, you ain't on the side with me. Used to be my dog, used to be my, you was in my, used to be my dog. Used to. my dog and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas trying to take my life away.
I be forgetting that you what was that that mixtape that you made hella years back?
Wabi Sabi.
Wabi Sabi. And when I heard that, I was like, yo, that shit is so live. And then I was like, but ain't nobody gonna rap over these beats. I be forgetting that you make beats to rap to, but you also make just like beats that is meant to be taken as like to listen to.
Just
you
to
know what I
listen
mean?
to, yeah.
Not like some 4/4 boom bap type of like everybody can rap over these type of joints. But yeah, man. I do want to say thank you again for coming through.
Thanks,
and rocking with me. I think we had some interesting things to say, and it was good to kind of get to know you a little bit better out here. You know what I mean? Like we've been people for a long time, but we haven't really all the times that we kick it, we're in the midst of things. We haven't had a chance to just like sit down and you know like really build. So this was fruitful for me in a lot of ways, and I think that your thoughts are important, and I want more people to get onto your music and your sound, man. But this is my joint right here. Actually, this is my favorite joint off that.
Yeah. It's crazy. I got to re-release that.
Yeah, this is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Just counting, like I'm like, yeah, I understand that Japanese, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But where can we find you? Where can we find you on the interwebs, on the internet, like social media for the denizens of that?
I want everybody to go to my website first.
Okay.
MikeLarryDraw.me. I think social media is okay, but if you really want to link with me, like just join the email list, and I'll get with you and we'll figure some stuff out. Okay. Pass you some free stuff. You know what I mean? I'm on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Mike Larry Draw. But yeah, if you really want to talk, you really want to chat, you really want to have a conversation, you know, hit me on my website.
Power. All those links are in the bio here, and by the time this comes out, be after Halloween or whatever. We got a couple videos coming out before that, but I think in the future I might even try to get Mike Larry Draw on the show when we do Secret House to discuss albums. We don't review albums. We discuss albums. We don't have like this album's a 5 out of 10. We don't assign numbers. We delve into it, listen to it, talk about what we like, perhaps what we don't like. But because we focus on primarily underground independent hip hop artists, a lot of the music that we do, we're not talking shit about it because it's like like there's so much music in the world. There ain't no reason for me to try to discuss an album that we don't want. And we don't do big mainstream albums like that either. It'd be like we're not going to do no more Kendrick albums or stuff like that. There's enough people talking about it. So we'll be talking about some other things. And please remember to rock with our guy over at Caltrops Press. Some of the best writing on hip hop culture and hip hop in general. The Sonic Cloth, my man over there, and the No Name Book Club. I want to say Secret House Against, but I also want to say Mega Late Show, but I also want to say that maybe I'll come up with a new title for an interview-based show. I would like to start rocking with people more in the community out here and having conversations like you just heard here today. Peace, though.
Have a good day.